Just get this wires. All right. Clicker. Hello, can you hear me? Yes? Okay. Hello, my name is Tristan. I did research in the medical center this summer at Baylor College of Medicine with the SMART program. It is a wonderful program because it is government funded, completely free. When you apply to it, they give you money when you're inside the program, and they fund everything you do inside of it. And they provide students with the opportunity to do research with BCM faculty, and you can apply every year. All right. I worked in the Children's Nutrition Research Center. It is a collaborative effort between Baylor College of Medicine, Texas Children's Hospital, and the United States Department of Agriculture. So it's a government building, and I had numerous background checks to go through, and it was a long process to get there. So the kind of research they do here is the faculty do research on nutrition, hence the nutrition part. Okay. For example, they do, how can we combat obesity in children? Or how does your microbiome change with diet? Or microbiome changing from childhood to adulthood. They do all kinds of cool stuff on children there. The project I joined was centered around the problem of premature birth, something I'm sure many of you are aware of. On average, 1 in 10 children are born premature, but these rates are higher in other countries. As you see, the United States is falling behind as well. It's not working? Okay. The United States is falling behind and medicine because prematurity is skyrocketing here. Yes? Microphone? Hello? Hello? All right. So I'm trying to tell you about the problem of premature birth. I'm sure many of you know about it. Okay. So the United States is bad. Premature babies have many problems linked to their lack of development. One such problem is that when they are fed, they do not grow that well. And part of the research in my lab was over trying to fix how they grow by regulating or changing their diet and their feeding schedules to see the difference between different groups. And I'll get to that soon. Since we can't do experiments on humans, we use pigs to model the human infant. And if you want to know why, I can tell you later, but just know that they're bigger than mice, and they're easier to work with. Here's how the study worked. So we had premature piglets. They were born by C-section early on, before they could be born naturally. And they were split into 2 groups. One fed continuously, where you just have a constant drip food system where it's injected into them all the time. And the other group was fed a meal every 4 hours, so you just, like a normal meal like we eat. You just feed them a big, large chunk of meal, and you wait the 4 hours and you feed them again. So that's the difference between the 2 different groups. After about 3 weeks on these schedules, we take their muscle samples, and then it was my job to cut them and look at them using microscopy. So here's some of the work I did. Here you see the muscle was cut as a cross-section. This is what muscles look like, muscle cells. And this is a picture I took. I have many more. I have about 6 gigabytes on my computer. Here's a beautiful image I took at the beginning. Thankfully, I could get this far. Yeah, just marvel at it. And this is a 3D stack that I did of a particular muscle section. And believe it or not, it's kind of useful for looking and determining if the muscles were good enough for growing, I guess, between the 2 groups. So we analyzed them to see if one group had more muscle growth than the other, essentially. So now I want to speak briefly about the nature of research. If you are a curious individual and you like science and history or whatever you want to do, you may pose a unique question, anything that would interest you. For example, does the color of a barn owl help catch its prey? And this, you use creativity to find an answer to your unique question. And it's only limited to your imagination, really. So this group in Switzerland put taxidermied owls on a zip line, and they just swung them down to a poor little mouse, and the mouse got scared by the owl. But what they found was that during a full moon, white barn owls caused mice to freeze 5 seconds longer, allowing them to capture the owl. But during a new moon, the darker owls had more chance to capture their prey. So there's this balance between different owls. So that's an example of posing a cool question, something you're interested in, and using creativity to experiment, find a way. There's my animation. Yeah. What I want to stress is that you're not limited in what you do research on. Maybe your questions pertain to medicine, art, history, or engineering. It doesn't matter. And you don't need to know a lot about research either to do it. You can start when you're a child. You can do it, probably. So lastly, I'll just talk about opportunities for you to do research, since now you know that you can. Here at HBU, we do some research here. Some of the students work with their professors. Like a lot of students work with Dr. Chopik. You can go through clubs like Tri Beta. They do biology research, which again, Dr. Chopik and Dr. Ellis over there. Dr. Ellis and Dr. Chopik primarily do and facilitate this research with children. I mean, us. I was stuck in my previous research on children. Okay. Research outside of HBU, there's summer programs. There's summer programs, you can apply to them, you can find them pretty much anywhere. Here's an example, Pathway to Science, that's a good way to go to find these programs. They're fully funded, you just apply, and if they accept you, you can go during the summer, you get paid to do it. I don't see why you wouldn't do it. You can go through any fields, mathematics, science, medicine. There's so much opportunities out there. It's kind of sad that people don't do it. National Science Foundation, that's a good one for looking at REUs. And you can ask professors or other students who are more experienced, who they've gone to these programs, and they can give you some advice. You can go through college or university websites to look for programs. Sometimes they have their own special programs that they do, like the SMART program. And that's about all I have to say about outside research. Any questions? I have some special questions for you. No questions? Okay. Preliminary data? No, my job was to... I had no data. Because I had to fix the method so that the postdoc could get the data. But I had really nice pictures, I'm just saying.